all dignitaries and great participants. Remold. This is to enhance the confidence levels of the people. Remold has come to existence in order to bring richness for the lives the people deserve. We live just for the sake of life. But do we have richness? Remold fetches you richness with which you can celebrate your life. With this motto, this particular session aims at bringing awareness on what is competition, how to be competitive while still adhering to the values which are very essential to lead life. Unless we have values, life with all riches can be meaningless. To stress on this focal point, today, Mrs. Rocky Devi Garu from Tamil Nadu is here with us. She'd like to do an extraordinary session. Let us all welcome Mrs. Rocky Devi, Madam, with great claps. Over to you, Madam. Thank you very much for having graciously consented for this session. Over to Rocky Devi Garu.
Thank you so much, sir. So we will, I'm happy that I have been introduced very well, which I may not be deserving that much. But anyway, to tell you briefly again, I'm basically working in BS Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology as an assistant professor in the Department of Management Studies. And also I'm taking care as an administrative responsibility as a director in charge in the Center for International Relations. And I'm glad that I have been given an opportunity to talk on the topic, the computational cooperation, without compromising the human values, being competitive in this, and also ensuring that we also be collaborative with each other. So I just would like to start my session without having that attitude of taking a risk, without having the attitude of accepting the challenges, and without having the attitude of undergoing the pain. It is very difficult to grow. So competition is not a bed of roses, which we have to think that, okay, if I enter into competition, it is going to be a very smooth life. No, we have to undergo all this. That will only make us to be a better person. So after knowing all this, what exactly is this competition again? It is not about showing our ego. If I happen to win one particular competition, doesn't mean that I am the best amongst all the people who are attending in that, who are participating in that competition. At the same time, I should also know that ego only makes us to be all the more down. We should not think that we are better than others. It is not a platform for us to show our ego. However, competition is striving for the same goal. What exactly is that? Competition is neither a negative word, nor it is about showing our own ego, nor it is a bed of roses. However, competition is very important because it is about looking for the same goal with the respectful understanding of one another, other party, whoever is competing it together. So if you see it in this particular picture, you can see it very well that rather than giving an example of the human beings, I want to give an example of the living creature, which we human beings can learn a lot. The trees. We know that trees are very much helpful to us. At the same time, they are also competing each other. If you happen to plant two plants together, you will definitely get to notice that the plants will compete each other to grow higher. Whoever is planting trees in their home, you will definitely know that. Okay, it is for what? They are striving for the same goal. What is their goal? The goal of being existing it. And how can they exist? Only when they get a proper sunlight as well as they get a proper water. And for that, they will extend their roots to get the water. They will compete each other. At the same time, they will try to grow higher and higher so that they will get that sunlight. Okay, this is one of the very typical examples. But have you seen any trees where they will hit one another in that competition? We know that they are competing each other. Do they hit one another and making the other tree to fall down? Until and unless some external forces come into picture like a wind. If that doesn't come, they do not hit each other. They make the others also to grow. At the same time, keeping in mind that they also try to grow. Okay, so they respect each other's existence. That is what we have to learn from the trees, and that is one of the best examples for being competitive. You see here. So why do we require human values? You know, human values are very important in today's scenario. And this importance of human values, you will get to know that nowadays so many crimes are happening. People hurt each other. People are not knowing the value of each other's. That is why, you know, like human values, nowadays in the higher education also, they started imbibing this importance of human values in the higher educational level. We used to tell moral stories only in the childhood, only when we were in kindergartens and all. But nowadays, even the government started understanding that telling about the moral stories, making people to know the value of relationship, making the value of humanity, they have brought into even in the educational platform. Okay, so I just would like to share about how important is this human values in the development of a character. A character is what defines an individual. A character will make a person to have that behavior which will make him to grow. And that is very important. Now we will understand how can we do that? How to make that human value to be followed? How to be more human rather than being far from being human. Okay, so we will learn about what exactly is this human values, how to develop that. The basic nature of being humanity is about love. Without love, we cannot exist. Love is the only thing which binds human beings together. Yes, I am very sure many of you would agree with that. You know, because love binds people. Without love, we people will not know the value of relationship. And being lovable is very important. And the next one is we will understand about being righteousness. So if we have to have this character, if you have to be have these human values within ourselves, we need to be right. We need to take a decision which is righteous, which is right in our life. We should understand what is right and wrong. And how to understand what is right and wrong, I'll tell you that the best way to understand any action of yours as right and wrong is only to listen to your inner voice. Inner voice will never misguide us. It will only tell us what is the best, what is the right one for any decision. So being righteous, always stand on the side of right. That will make us to have our own value system. And the next one is about truth and honesty. How can we be so truthful? How can we be so honest? Yes, being truthful and honest is very, very costly, at the same time difficult, because many of us find it difficult to tell the truth. But I'll tell you, the moment when you are sticking your own value system as to be truthful, I'm very sure that people around you who are surrounding you will always value you in a better pedestal. You know, sometimes we find it difficult to tell the truth. Doesn't matter, don't tell lies. Let us not tell lies. So now the next one is, if you see this picture, what comes in your mind? Can anybody guess it? What comes in your mind the moment we see this picture? Yeah, the moment we see this picture, it reminds us about Mahatma Gandhi. And what is the value system he carries in life?
Truth
The
and
value
non-violence.
he carries in life is nothing about, it's all about being non-violent. And this concept of non-violent throughout the world, the moment you say non-violent, nobody can forget him, neither we can ignore him. So I'm going to tell you a small story about Mahatma Gandhi ji, which I got to learn from a session which I have learned and I'm learning it. And that is about the Mahatma Gandhi's way of making his own grandchildren, his own grandson to know the importance of non-violence.
Madam, excuse me, madam.
Yes, feedback. So we are going to talk about how this very concept of Mahatma Gandhi's value system about non-violence is being taught to his own grandson. And this story, I have taken it from his own grandson. His name is Arun Manilal Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi's second son, Manilal Gandhi, his son Arun Manilal Gandhi, when he was in South Africa, he was brought up in South Africa, and he has faced the very thing called as racism during those days, when the racism is very much prevailing in the market. Everyone is trying to dominate one another, and he was not being accepted by that society where he was brought up. Neither the white Americans, they think that he does not belong to them. Neither the black Africans who are staying there, they are also not accepting him. So in South Africa, the white and the black thinks him as a brown person because of the skin texture. And that has made him to be humiliated by everyone in the class. And at that 12 years of age, he started thinking about, why don't I develop my physique so that I'll be able to defend myself? Is it wrong to think like that for that child? No, it is not wrong. He is trying to find out a way, how can he survive in that competition? He tried to find a way how to survive in that competition. And his father understood that, okay, my son is going in the wrong way. He's trying to imbibe this violence in the way he tried to tackle his life of being discriminated. So he decided that I'll make my son to go back to his grandfather, sorry, so that he will know the importance of non. And he sent his son for 1.5 years, and 1.5 years, Arun Manilal Gandhi has stayed with his grandfather. And that was the turning point for Arun Manilal Gandhi, understanding the importance of human being, understanding the importance of patience, understanding the importance of nonviolence, the very concept. And how he understood is, he was asking his grandfather, and grandfather said that, okay, I'll tell you, like how we have a family tree. The grandfather said that, think myself on top of this tree and give a branches of two sides. Okay, two sides of branches. One we call it as a physical violence, one we call it as a passive violence. So what exactly is this physical violence? We all know that the kind of violence we get it in life, which we get beating. Sometimes people murder one another, people fight one another, people do rape. So all these are physically abusing somebody, physically hurting somebody. That is what is considered as a physical violence. And anything you observe in this wake of life, or anything you have learned or heard, you just write it down on this side. That is what his grandfather told him. And the other side is about the passive violence, the kind of a violence which you have observed people hurting one another, not physically, in the way they speak, in the way they handle. So that is how Arun Manilal Gandhi started observing, and every day he used to write whatever is there. Okay, whatever he has noticed and come across in his life. And to his surprise, like the list keeps on going on the side of which one? Definitely the passive violence, the kind of violence, people are hurting one another while talking, people are shouting one another while talking. So that is what Arun Manilal Gandhi has observed, in the name of being straightforward, how people hurt each other, in the name
Rapper
of.
and actor 50 Cent has apparently retracted his endorsement of President Donald Trump.
I am not getting it. Can you please repeat me again? Yes, I think Mr. Radhakrishnan Madhavan, can you please repeat
Yes,
me? Yes.
yes. Hello.
Yeah, I heard some voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a mistake, not a
Oh,
problem.
okay, fine. Thank you. So that is how the Manilal Gandhi got to know about what exactly is this violence. And then he understood that that is not the way an individual has to live. And you know, down the line, I've given you the YouTube link here. That is the story how Arun Manilal Gandhi has shared it to the public. And he started his own institution there, and in the name of being developing these human values, being non-violent. So why do I tell all these stories about? If we have to know these human values, the human values is always incomplete without knowing about what exactly is this violence. So we have to live a life which we have to follow this non-violence. We should not hurt others. And the next and the last one is about the peace. How can we maintain a life of being very peaceful? And this peace is the basic purpose for everyone's life. How much ever competition we are competing it every now and then with others, at the end of the day, when we try to sleep at night, what is it that we are longing for? We are longing only for that peace, that peaceful life. And how can we be peaceful? Only when the all surrounding four things are imbibed, we will definitely lead a very peaceful life. So these human values we want to incorporate in this competitive world. So how to be incorporating it in this competitive world? So how to do that? When we are in competition, let us try to have an empathy of one another. So what exactly is being empathetic? So empathy, from this very picture, you get to know that the green color man is trying to understand the blue color person. And the blue color person is trying to understand the green color person. So what is this empathy? Empathy is all about respectful understanding of one another. So even if we are in competition, understand that everyone's purpose is aiming for that same goal, but not to hurt each other. We have to understand each other. It is not about if we are in a debate, it is not that I have to accept others' opinion. It is only about understanding that it is their opinion and respecting to that. Okay, it is not about accepting others or approving others. It is only about understanding and respecting others' opinion. Let us try to have a positive interdependence. How can we ensure that we are interdependent of one another? Yes, it is very much possible. It is where the very word called as a teamwork comes into existence. And positive interdependence is only going to make every organization to grow, every individual to grow. We have to interdepend one another. It is not about negative interdependence, it's a positive. We have to link with one another, and we have to understand that in this world, we cannot live all alone without the support of one another. Can I say that I am in a position of teaching and not respecting those who are doing the housekeeping work? No, every work is important. Only when they do their housekeeping work of cleaning my surroundings and all, I am able to live a healthy life. So their work is definitely dependent on me to live a healthy life. And my work is also making them to have a peaceful life. We have to work together. Okay, and we have to share the ideas. We have to encourage each others in the work front, in any place. Every one of us, we are all having our own family. So some might be the breadwinner of the family, some might be caretaking about the family. Can we say that the breadwinner is better than the caretaker? No. The caretaker is better than the breadwinner? No. Everyone is depending on one another. And that positive interdependence only will make us to have that peace in life, which is the ultimate purpose of a human value. And the next one is about willingness to help one another. How many of us are ready to help one another? You know, I will tell you an example. It is a case study. It is a case which has happened in the Western country. What happened is in a multi-story apartment. You know, in a multi-story apartment, one lady was killed in a very early evening. Okay, and that evening when that lady was killed, before she was killed, she has cried for help. And everyone who stayed in that apartment nearby to the place where she was killed in the car parking area, they heard her screaming. but nobody came forward and nobody helped her. And a gang of guys has killed her by stabbing her. For what purpose, nobody knows. And the investigation department, they were so surprised. People can be killed, that too in a place where she is staying in that apartment, and nobody came for her help. And when they did this small case, when they did the case study, they have created an experimental room. You know what is, there are different ways of solving a case, and they want to solve this case by doing certain experiment. Most of the crime scenes, they will try to experiment and create the same kind of a scenario. But this story, how they are going to create an experiment is in a very different context. Okay, they created a room, like a room of a library. And in that library, one lady was there. Let us think as not even a lady, one person. Okay, if we say it's a lady, we may have a stereotyping about helping a lady or helping a guy like that. So let us have a feeling that one person is there in that library. And for taking the books, the library has got a ladder to climb for taking the books. So what they did was, that is the experimental room. In the another room, they created a room where so many people were sitting and all of them have accepted to take part in this experiment. So what they did was, they made one person to come forward. The moment that person has been made to come inside the library room, and this person who was trying to climb the ladder for taking the books, he fell down from the ladder. So automatically what will happen? What the other person will do? The person who is trying to enter in that room, definitely that person will immediately run to help that person. And the next again, yes, the first experiment is done. Second experiment, what they did was, instead of one person, they made two persons to enter into that room. And when two persons enter into that room, they did the same kind of a scene again. That person was trying to climb and he fell down from the ladder. That time again, this person fallen down. And this two person also trying to help that person who has fallen down from the ladder. But which one will take time more? The first one, it might take hardly 2 seconds for him to run for helping him. But in the second experiment, when two persons enter, it takes more longer time. And the same experiment, they did it for more number of people. When they did for more number of people, they understood that it took much more longer time. So from this experiment, they got to know that that lady was killed because of the problem, what you call it as an initiation. Nobody initiated, but everyone was waiting for somebody else to initiate. If one would have come forward to help that lady, many were ready to come forward. Yes.
No, I took it and I went back for the first time.
Please mute yourself, those who have joined.
Thank you. So that is what the scenario has happened in terms of helping others. For helping others, the willingness to help others, we need to take.
I have a spare.
Excuse me, please mute yourself. This is very important. Please mute yourself. Hello.
Yes. Thank you. That is what exactly. Yeah, that was what exactly has happened.
Hello, you're sitting in the back.
Radhakrishnan sir.
Naga sir, you can mute others. You have the features for able to mute others. You can mute. Okay, thank you. So now I am going to show you. Yeah, so for this lady, they have understood the reason behind why others did not come forward to help that. So for the very concept of willingness to help others comes into picture only when we are ready to initiate. So I'll show you a very small video. share minds. 100% explain.
Madam,
Yes,
is there any background
yes, sir.
audio? Any background audio for this video?
Background audio, is it not at all audible, sir?
No, no audio is coming. In fact, some shing sounds are coming. Just video is
Okay,
clear.
okay. Is it okay, better?
No, madam.
Only the video audio sound alone is there, according to me here. Okay, no problem. I think I'll continue with my talk. I'll share this link to you all
Okay.
so that when you have a free time, you can also see it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, fine. So I was just sharing with you about the importance of what exactly we call it as a willingness to help. So now we will go ahead with our topic. So we will try to understand this that, I mean, in being competitive, do we want to be the person who is not ready to help others, or do we want to be the person who will be remembered to help others? So now I'll share. So we are talking about we should be willing to help others in this in this competitive world. And people who help others in spite of being in the competition is the one who will be valued by others, whom people would like to respect. And we want love and affection. We are social being, and if we want to live peacefully in this world, this very concept of helping nature should be imbibed in us, and we all do have. Because of so many other reasons, people stop thinking about helping one another, with being very selfish towards attaining their goal. But competition is not about being selfish. So that is what I just would like to share it with you. And now I will share you this small story. And this story, every one of us know about it. So what exactly is this? It is about rabbit and tortoise. And you know, the very version of story which we have been hearing from childhood is, the moral of this story is, slow and steady wins the race. How do we say that slow and steady? Because of this story. So they both have decided, the rabbit and tortoise have decided to have the race. And when they had the race, obviously who won in the first race? The tortoise. Why? Because the rabbit, he was overconfident. He was overconfident, and he was confident that tortoise can never win against him. So with that confidence, without completing his race, he slept off. Since he slept, but the tortoise did not stop. He knows about his own capability, and he continued to run with the same pace. And he won the race. Obviously, the tortoise won the race. And in this race, what happened was, after this race, the rabbit started thinking, How can a tortoise win against me? I am known to be a creature which can run very fast, and how can a tortoise win against me? And that has made him to made a plan, and he told to the rabbit, to the tortoise, he said that, why don't we have a race again? In the first race you won, let us have a race again. Tortoise said, okay, fine, let us have a race again, because tortoise is also now confident because he won the first race. Tortoise thought that, okay, I won the first race, so hope so I'll get the second race also first. And rabbit was also very confident this time. He knows that the first race, it was because of my mistake I lost the race. So this is the second version of the story. And in this second version, they have made the race again. Both of them agreed to have the race again. Can you guess who must be winning this race? Obviously, the rabbit won the race. Why? Because rabbit was confident and he was determined this time that I'll not sleep until I complete the race. And he won the race. And tortoise took so much of time to reach the end point, and rabbit was happy, yeah, I won the race, like that. But is it fair? You know, in these two races, both of them have become friends. Rabbit and tortoise, in the wake of these two races, they both have become friends. They became very good friends, that they started thinking something else. They said that, okay, we have been running race together. First race you won, second race I won, but why don't we have a race again? And they realize that it is sometimes being foolish to think that we have a race between two creatures where the two creatures, their own natural competency is different. So they decided, being a friend, they decided, why don't we have a race where half part of the race will be in the land and half part of the race will be in the water. And that is how they both have decided. And since they were friends, they agreed to each other. They said that we will have the race again. So in this race, they both had an understanding that, why don't we have this race in such a way that the first half, which is on the land, the rabbit will carry the tortoise. So obviously both of them can run in the land. They can run on the land, but how much time will the tortoise take and how much time will the rabbit take? So much of differences. The time differences will be more. So they decided that I will carry you on my back and I will make you also to reach the destination of water as soon as possible. He took the tortoise on his back. In the second half, the tortoise agreed. He said that you are my friend. I know you cannot swim. I will take you on my back and I will make you to enjoy the very feeling of swimming on the water. And he made the rabbit to carry on his rabbit to sit on his back, and he carried him throughout. And at the end, what happened? They both reached the destination line together. Both the rabbit and turtle felt a greater sense of satisfaction. The kind of feeling rabbit had when he won the race in the second race, in comparison to this feeling when they both had the race together, obviously this feeling was much more enjoyable and fulfilling than the race when they won separately. So what can we learn from this moral? What is the moral of this story? So we have been hearing from the day one, from our childhood, that slow and steady wins the race. But now the moral in this today's world, if we have to live in the competitive world, if we have to live being peaceful, keeping in mind being humanity, keeping in mind being this about human values, we should understand that being collaborative, being cooperative and collaboration exist in the teamwork. And that will only make us to have that satisfaction of life, the job satisfaction, a sense of satisfaction. That is how they have understood in this particular story. And I wanted to share it to you all. That is what I have shared it to you all. And now I'll tell you the application of this. You know, the project Aristotle, this project was basically started by Google. They have interviewed so many different teams. They want to know that how the team can be made. What kind of team can be made so that they will be able to reach the best productivity and the best performance. Every organization, you know, nowadays, they know that if they have to be competitive, They need to create this team building attitude. Everyone should feel like working in the team. And they want to know the reason behind how to make the best effective team. When Google did this particular project, when they did interview with so many teams, they realized that there is something called as a human relationship, the importance of relationship in the team. The work is irrespective of that. Everyone is doing the work. Everyone is capable of doing the work. So what makes a difference in the competition to be able to reach the goal faster, to be able to reach the goal in a better position? That difference lies in the teamwork. And that teamwork, how to ensure that teamwork? The teamwork is all about the relationship between the individuals. How an employee make a relationship with your boss, how an employee make a relationship with your peers and colleagues, how he or she makes a relationship with their fellow who are working under him, the subordinates. That relationship only made every team to do their performance better. When they did this case study, they realized that it is the relationship that makes the Google to have the best team. The certain team are performing better than the other is all because of relationship. And I'm very sure whoever is working in the company, you would agree. In any wake of your life, you will agree that people does not leave the company. People leaves their boss. People leaves their colleagues because they were unhappy working there. Yeah, very few leave the job because they want to have a change in their career. They feel that, okay, certain other career is better or certain other opportunities are better. But if we keep all this constant, that the career, everything is there in the same company, why do they leave in from that company? It is all because of relationship. And this relationship is what is going to make that team work. So if you have to make the team work, we have to make that relationship better. And now I'm going to tell you how to solve a cases, how to solve any kind of a situational problem in life. So if we have to be competitive, if we should know how to work with the team, keeping in mind with the human values, we should also know how to make a rational decision. Decision making is easy only when we follow the procedure properly. Otherwise, decision making is very difficult. We may end up taking a decision which is not rational, which does not have a scientific support on how we take the decision. But if we keep this in mind about how to take a decision in a very rational way, then definitely many of the decisions will save us from the problem which may happen in the future. And in the teamwork, in this competitive world, being capable of taking a right decision is very important. I would not say it's a right decision. Every decision is right, provided we are taking that rational decision. So I will tell you that for making this kind of a decision, there are 9 different steps. If you see the 9 different steps, any problem comes in life, any problems comes in the team, any problem comes in the work front, we need to identify the right problem identification. If we identify the right problem, we will be able to solve that problem. You know, as an example, I'll share you my own story. Being a teacher, our basic purpose is to make all the students to learn what we teach and make them to be a good human being. So when a student do not perform in the class, automatically the teachers will start analyzing what might be the reason behind for that student not performing it. So when we do that problem analysis, we have to identify what might be the reason. Sometimes it can be a reason of not liking the subject. It can be a reason of not feeling well. It can be a reason of not liking the teacher who is teaching it, or it can be a reason of their own personal problem. But if I do not identify the right problem, the kind of solution I'm going to give to the student for him to improve his performance will not solve. If I assume thinking that he has not got the correct materials, I have to provide all materials, he has not understood the concept and all, and if I give importance for making him to learn that subject, I may not be able to achieve the very purpose for me trying to help him. And if I know that, if I come to know that his problem was with his own personal life, then with the mentoring and counseling, we may be able to make him to perform better. There are so many stories about a small kid. You might have heard about a small kid. The kid will be considered by the teacher as the West fellow, who will never come tidy, who will be unkempt, the hair will never be combed properly and all. Later on, the teacher will got to know that the kid's mother passed away just a few days back, and it is finding it very difficult to adjust that life, that small kindergarten kid. From that day onwards, when the teacher realized that the kid is like that because of that situation, you know, wonder can happen when we identify the right problem, so that we'll be able to solve that. So any problem in life, we have to identify what is the problem, and then we have to identify what is the evidence of the problem. How do you say that that is the problem? How will you say that that is the problem? You will definitely get a clue in the life that this is the reason for me saying that this is my problem. As an example, if I get a job offer from 4 different companies, that is also one problem. How will I choose the best company? Which company, where I want to work? If I'm having 4 different career options, one being a teacher, one being a full-time trainer, one being some kind of an entrepreneur. So if I have different platform of a career, that itself is also a problem. How? Because I'm confused. Being confusing about which one I have to select, that itself is a problem. That is the evidence of the problem. Third one is objectives. We have to identify what is the objective of ours. If I say that my problem is I'm confused which company to select for me, for my job, for my career, that is the problem. Means what is my objective? My objective is to identify the right company, the decision which I have to make for identifying the right company. That is the objectives. So the next one is, how many solutions do I have? How many career options do I have? How many different solutions do I have? And all of us are capable of identifying that different solutions. We only have to just think and identify. You know, that is what you call it as an alternative solutions. Whether the solution 1 will solve your problem, or solution 2 will solve your problem, or 3 or 4, we have to identify that. And we always say that when you have to identify the solution, it should be a maximum of 4, not more than 4. And it should be a minimum of 3, not less than 3, 3 to 4. You know, I used to say a joke that if I have to decide for getting married, if you want to get married, and if it is an arranged marriage, and if your parents happen to show you 10 different profiles with 10 different photos, is it very easy in comparison to the scenario where you have been given 3 to 4 photos and profiles to select it? Obviously, 3 to 4 photos, profiles will be easier in comparison to the 10 different profiles and photos. Because decision becomes easier when you have few. That is why every company, when they have to select the people, when there is a manpower requirement, this is the thumb rule. Thumb rule of every company as a HR. They will always make it ensure that if one position is vacant, they will create 4 different candidates who can be eligible for that position in the last round. If you see in the Miss World, the Miss Universe and all, you might have seen that a person will be only 1, but the finalists will be 5. Yeah, they might be keeping it as a 5, but in the real scenario of practicality, we say that not more than 4. That is what we need to have a solution. How many options we have to solve that problem? 4 different options. So I say it as a 4 different company, or you can think of anything in your life. If I say if I have to select one guy also, guy number A, guy number B, C, and D. Even if it is a career number A, career number B, career number C, and career number D. Very simple. And the next step, after identifying this, how many solution, out of all the existing, after boiling it down to 4 different solutions, we have to identify the 5th steps as the conditions or the criteria. On what ground are you going to assess among all these points? So what are the grounds we are going to think? What are the conditions we are going to think? It differs from one person to another. As I'm telling you in the beginning of this, that there is nothing like right decision and wrong decision. It is only about how rational you are in making a decision. Have you analyzed very well before taking that decision? Everyone makes mistakes. But before making that mistake, are we good enough to analyze ourselves before making any decision, whether are we taking the right decision or not? It is what exactly it is. It is called as conditions and criteria. If I have to select the company, which company I have to join, I may think that for me, position is very important. The location where I am going to be posted is very important. The salary, how much they are going to give is very important. The timing, shift timing is very important. I may say that these are my 4 conditions. And this how we have for solution, even for conditions and criteria, we limit it to only 3 minimum and maximum 4. If we make it more than 4 conditions, it is very difficult to take decision. If I say that I want a guy who will be tall, good looking, very good in studies, should be always number 1 in studies, should be getting a very good salary, should be having a family where there is no sisters and very less brothers, should be in a family where the parents are working, are educated. Is it very easy to decide to get such kind of a guy? Definitely very difficult. So we have to fix the conditions and criteria, maximum of 4. Whatever may be the decision we are going to take, limit it to 3 to 4. And this condition differs from one person to another person. If I select, when I choose a guy, if I select that I want a guy who is very understandable, who will understand me, whom I can understand, who is very helping in nature, who is very confident in life. Even if problem comes, even if a situation about anything comes, I want him to be very confident. At the same time, he should also be educated. That might be my criteria. That criteria may not be similar to others. Can I say that my criteria is better than others? No. So criteria and conditions differ from one to another. That is why decision being made in the corporate, also decision from one manager to another manager, one CEO to another CEO. But that decision, if you do a real analysis, definitely that will always help us to get the better goal, the better result. That is why we need to know how to make the decision. And this is one of the important part where we can make a decision. So conditions and criteria is very important. After fixing all these conditions and criteria, next one is, 6th steps is how to evaluate all these alternatives. We have identified 4 different alternatives, 4 different companies, how to evaluate all these alternatives against all these criteria. So the way of evaluation is also very simple, very simple. So we are going to evaluate like this. So I have fixed 4 conditions: salary, position, location, and shift timing. So when I see a tick, salary wise, which company is the best? Company B and C is the best. Company A is the worst. They are giving lesser salary. Company D is okay, better than A. When it comes to position, which one is better? So company D is the best when it comes to position. Company C and B is similar. A is again the worst. And if I have to compare the location means what is my preferred location as a decision maker, then I will start analyzing again. Okay, all of them, none of the companies are giving me the kind of location which I'm expecting, it very near to my home, this, that, and all. But however, company B's location is okay for me. C and D is acceptable. A is not at all acceptable. Shift timing, again, I have to analyze. Shift timing, which one is better? So A and C is somewhat better in comparison to B and D. That is how I am going to create this matrix of all 4 decisions. So please write all your 4 decisions and please jot it down. What are your conditions? What are the criteria which will help you to make a better decision? So when we jot down this, and if you see the number of ticks, and if you count the number of ticks, definitely you will get to know that which company is the better. Can anyone guess it? And please type it in the chat box if you want. Yeah, which company would be better? Either company B or company C, D or A. How many ticks are similar?
Friends, please respond.
C.
C, okay. Whether C is how many ticks is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So number of tick is 8. A's number of tick is 4 and D number of tick is 7 and B number of tick is 8. I think Satish sir only replied, right? Yes, sir? Yeah, B or C. Sonal.
Sai Gayatri, Sonal Madam C.
Yes, Sai Gayatri has said as B or C. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not saying that Sonal's answer is wrong. Neither I'm saying that Satish sir answer is wrong. Because B and C has got the same weightage. So there will be a situation when we have to take a decision. We become fable. We are confused which decision we have to take, either to take the B company or the C company. And in that kind of a similar kind of a tick, what we have to do is we have to rank among these alternative, among these criteria. So as far as salary is concerned, now our concern is whether B is better or C is better. So when it comes to salary, both are having the same tick, 3 tick. When it comes to position, both are having the same tick. When it comes to location, B is better. When it comes to shift timing, C is better. So if I have to decide, then I have to think whether location is more important for me or shift timing is more important for me. If I give importance that location is more important, then nothing wrong in me saying that B is my decision. If Satish sir feels that shift timing is more important for him, and if he says that C is the answer, that is also not wrong because he gives importance to the shift timing. That is why we say that decision making is all rational. It is not about right and wrong. To me, B is right. To him, C is right. Because that is what we give importance. That is why many CEOs in a company make different types of decision when the problem comes in life. You know, Yahoo, when they have selected a CEO called Marissa Mayer, she has been a very wonderful performer in the previous company. But the decision, what she makes, what she adopts, did not make Yahoo to survive better in the market. Okay, so but that is why we have to train ourselves what is the rational decision we have to make in life. And B can be better or C can be better depending on which criteria you are finding it more weightage when the ticks are similar. But if I say D is my decision, then I am not taking rational decision. You know, if I say that about the marriage proposal, if 4 guys' photos have been shown to me with the profile, and by seeing the first guy, I decided, oh, he's very good looking, handsome. Let me decide and get married with him. Then there is nothing called as rational decision making itself. I have gone only to the looks. I may end up a life which I am not expecting it if I give importance only to that. No, I'm not saying that human being, human touch, yes, there are so many things, but what we fix in our mind as the right person, that is what we selected as our own life partner. Okay, and what I think is right for me may not be same with others. So we have to be good in that. So now after fixing all this, the next step is ranking of alternative solutions. How do we rank that? We have to rank B as 1 or otherwise C as 1. Whoever wants C as 1, you can make C as 1, or otherwise if I want, I can make B as 1. Second rank as, obviously, if I make B 1, then second rank will be C. If I make C 1, second rank B. Next one is which one? Rank number 3. Obviously, rank number 3 is D. And rank number 4 is A. That is how we have to rank. My solutions to my problem, I have to rank. And after ranking, what is it that in my mind, foremost in my mind, which I have to make a decision? If I have given B as rank 1, obviously B is my decision. C is my next decision. So when I give like this, I have to decide the next alternative is, the next step is about decision. And what will be my decision? Obviously the rank number 1 according to my evaluation. So my decision is B. Go ahead in life, green signal. You can take the decision, the rational decision. Yeah, B is the decision. But what would happen sometimes? We call it as a contingency plan, emergency plan. Though I want B decision to be taken, sometimes the situation may not support me to make that B decision. If I say in the same company, for youngsters also, if they have to select, they decided that I want to join the B company. If the B company, because of the COVID, let us think like that, that though they have selected him till the last round, the B company is not able to give them the offer letter. The selection process might have happened in 2020 January, but now it is October, November. They have completed their degree and they are supposed to join. But at this moment, the company's financial position is not very great. So what would happen? Obviously, though he wants B, I have selected company B based on my analysis. I'll join your company B. But what happened to the company B? Company C manager decided the management, they decided not to give offer letter this financial year. We cannot hire you due to poor financial status at present. So that is why we give ranking and we need contingency plan, emergency plan. So if the B is not working out, we have to give an emergency plan. If I've selected the guy A after making all analysis, who knows, the guy A says that my family only wanted me to get married and give my profile and everything, but I have a lady in my life. I want to marry with the one whom I select. Then can I still stick and say that, no, I'll marry only him? No, we have to have a contingency plan. That is what the solution to any problem, we need to have a plan B. So the plan B is what you call it as an emergency plan. And emergency plan also should be in the form of a rank. So if I've given rank C as rank number 2, now in contingency, it will be rank number 1. D was rank number 3 in my decision, but now it is rank number 2 in contingency. And A is the rank number last, the third one. So if B has not given me offer and B's solution is not helping me at that present situation, then I should go ahead with the company C. That is my green signal. Company D is my waiting list. If C is again failing, then D can be the one which I can select, and company A at last. Yes, that is what you call it as how to analyze any problems in life. When we have to be competitive, when we have to work in a team, sometimes decision making is always very important. And how to make a rational decision is what I give importance to. When you have to make it ensure that you should not hurt others, keeping that human values in mind, at the same time reaching the goal which you have aimed for, you and your team and your organization. But as a societal, as at large, what we want peace. We want to live a peaceful environment. All of our motive is to live a very peaceful life. So for that, we have to keep in mind about human value. Okay, so I just would like to know whether anything else would you want to know from me, which you are interested?
May I request to turn on your videos? Please participate in the discussion. Madam will give us clarity on what we might need.
Yeah, I'll be happy to share with you. And at the same time, I'll be happy to learn from you from the kind of questions you will be asking. So I just would like to share it that this is the importance in our life, in the professional front, in the personal front. And we have to live in this society of being competitive also. And at the same time, we have to know how to make a good decision also. It's not about good decision, I'll say it's a rational decision also. So this is what exactly I wanted to share it. If anything you have as doubt, you can always clarify. I think Sonal ma'am, you want to say something?
Yeah, hi Rocky. First, hello everybody. I really like your presentation, though I joined very late. And
Thank you.
yeah, and you remind me actually, I am about to shift my house, and we are
Okay.
also in the process of analyzing. So while
Okay.
we are looking for the right option, we are analyzing somewhat like this only. Yesterday
Okay.
only I was telling my husband, and in fact, along with it, I used to do two more things. I looked
Okay.
at the pros and cons, and this is what I
Okay.
do since my childhood.
Very
What are
good.
the pros? I list them down. Then what are the cons? I list them down, and whichever is, has a more magnitude and more number of points in it, I go with
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So yeah, I really like your session, and especially the way you present. So looking forward for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The way we identify pros and cons, the condition of pros and cons is the clue for us to identify the criteria or conditions. So we have
Right.
said criteria of conditions. That is what we have to understand. It is on this platform only I am going to assess out of the four alternatives. So that
Right. And actually, your talk kept me actually engaged. Though I was
yeah,
doing a lot of household things, but still it kept me engaged with all the stories and everything. So I really like it, and all the best for your future.
thank you so much. It is a very wonderful, feeling for me to get such a, good feedback. Thank you.
So
Yes,
great to hear from Sonal Kaur, madam.
thank you. Yeah. Sir, can you please make it the last slide for me, which I want to tell it to everyone?
Yeah, madam. You can share it now.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. This is the pledge. I always keep it in mind that I am unique and everyone is unique. You also can read it. Please read along with me. I am unique and everyone in the world. I will not criticize
I am
others.
unique and everyone is unique. I will
Yes,
not criticize others.
others. I will show
I will
respect
show respect to
to
others.
other person's opinion.
I will
I
show
will
I
respect to
will
other
fill my
person's
mind.
person's opinion. I will fill my mind and my surroundings with thoughts of peace. I will fill my
I
I
will
mind
will
fill
fill
my
my
mind
mind
and
with
my surroundings with thoughts of
thoughts
peace.
of peace.
thoughts of peace.
I will cooperate with others for a good cause always.
I
I
will
I
cooperate
will
with
cooperate
will
with
others
others
for a
others
good
for
for
a
a
good
cause
cause
always.
always.
good.
Thank
Very
you so
nice.
much. This is the motto in my life, and I ensure that, consciously I should follow it. Sometimes unconsciously, if I don't follow, I do self introspection and I try to make it ensure that I follow it again. Thank you so much. This is all I
Thank you,
wanted to
ma'am.
share for today.
I recently saw one video of Dr. Abdul Kalam had gone to Germany, Europe for a summit. And at that time, he used the same, thoughts that when there should be a peace in the world, all the countries heads, all the governments should have peace. Then the business organization should have. Then the family should have, and each individual should have. This he said in 15 minutes. You can imagine the vocabulary he must have got. Fantastic,
Yes,
really. So if
definitely.
everybody is peace and happy in life, I don't think
Yes,
there can be any time war. There is no
exactly.
requirement of ammunition.
Yes, exactly. Definitely, sir. This is what exactly we require in this era. Everywhere, problems, we cannot say that problems will never come, but how well we make ourselves peaceful within ourselves, how well we maintain our relationship with others and keeping that peace and harmony with others. That is all going to a lot in our life. This is something, I have learned this harmony within self, with others, with surroundings, society, and nature. This concept there. Though we all are living for that, but as a concept, this is what exactly is required to live a peaceful life. And that is what I have learned, and I give importance to that. I make it ensure even with my family members, I have to maintain that peace. Like I'm proud to say that I'm staying with my mother-in-law, my own co-sister, all as a joint family together. And I'm proud to say that every one of us are having that peaceful life. See, Corona has attacked our family. That is secondary, that we can face it together as long as we are having that harmony within ourselves and with our own family members. And if we are happy, we can also do good to the society and others. I am sitting here in front of the system. Without my family support, I cannot sit here. If we are peaceful, we can also make the place where we live to be peaceful. So peace is the ultimate aim for our life. So let us all live together peacefully. And thank you so much for your, sir, really in this time, you have taken an effort to take part in it. Jayanti ma'am, Sai Gayatri, and Satish sir, and definitely all the other participants, because
Thank you
yeah,
very much for your suggestion.
thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. There are so many other
Fantastic and
platforms.
amazing performance.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
Very
From
much.
you,
nice. I've learned the decision making. But if one plan goes waste, the whole analysis will go waste. When you told about contingency plan, it's very applicable in life also.
Exactly,
Thank you,
exactly.
ma'am.
And I am happy to know, share it, our dean, 4 years before, we had a dean from IIM Ahmedabad. He had worked in IIM Ahmedabad for 27 years. and I'm happy and fortunate to work under him for 4 years together. That time, he only has taught us this 9 steps analysis of the case, which has helped us to, at least till now, for the past 6-7 years, we are still adopting the same methods. And I have not seen any changes in what I have learned it, and still find it useful and applicable. That is why I felt that I should share it with you all. Thank you, Sai. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I must thank Mrs. Raki Devi madam. In fact, when I asked her firstly, she was so happy. She was so happy, and she said, "Yes, we do it." The thing I just wanted to come to you is this kind of initiative. Remold was started 6 months ago. The purpose of this remold is, I must be very clear in this regard. Motivation is the primary ingredient which we infuse always. Secondly, personal development being part of the motivation. And now we have to take this further to the level of leadership as well as
Is what is very important. Even I have shared about the story of being initiative, the importance of initiative that can even cost a life also, that can even save a life.
Yeah.
So initiative is all the first and foremost in life. And that is what you have initiated. And I really appreciate for that. And also appreciate my other fellow colleagues who have agreed to take forward for the
greater plans. And in the next session, would like to have Satish Bhatt sir's session. I thank Mrs. Raki Devi madam for her time and consideration and the value she has given for this session. I'm so much thankful to Radhakrishna sir, Sai Gayatri, Satish Bhatt sir, Jayanti madam, and other participants, those who took part of this program today. Anything just the participants would like to say, would be so happy before we wind up this session.
Absolutely fantastic. Really eye-catching, and
Thank you, sir.
questions came out of my mind, and all those were answered. When I see a PPT, a frame, everything what you say, if it is there in that PPT, it doesn't. I don't get anywhere, or you also don't get anywhere.
Thank you,
So
sir.
the PPT should be incomplete to an extent that the questions.
A wonderful session, Raki. Thank you very much. And Naga sir also. And we look forward for Satish sir's session.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Thank you very much, madams and sirs. Your presence has brought richness to the entire session. It's an overwhelming feeling. I'm sure. Then stay focused and stay centered. Be always positive. Thank you so much for having patronized today's session.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Shall
you,
meet
Rocky.
in the next.
Thank you, Naga sir.